Arsenal have all but secured their spot in the Champions League last 16 with a dominant 3-0 victory over Dinamo Zagreb. Welcome back to Sport Lab, where we bring you the latest and greatest in football action. Today, we break down the Gunners' perfect performance that sent them one step closer to European glory. Let's dive right in.
Broadcast and that for the game was a professional performance. Arsenal seemed like they were in control for a lot of that. Just give me your biggest takeaways now you've got the win.
Well, very happy to win again at home, don't concede a goal, a clean sheet. I think it's 4 in a row in the competition and it's a massive step. We are very, very close to achieve the goal that we had before the group stages started, so very happy.
The other aspects that will probably make you really pleased is seeing Declan get a goal, seeing Martin get a goal. I've seen you overall talk about it has to be a collective in terms of this ambition for goals this year. Does that make you happy in terms of a manager?
Yes, because we generated quite a lot as well. Declan especially, that missed a few big chances, and really good for Martin, his first goal, and he really needed that. You could tell the way he celebrated that he had that anger and that desire to do it. So overall, a really positive night.
Declan's talking about that desire and that want from you to get in those positions, especially if he's going to play the 8. But he seemed disappointed that he almost didn't get 2 goals. Do you see that chance that he missed?
Yeah, and especially because in the last few games as well, he had some big chances, and that's it. The more he's there, the more consistent he is in the positions with the quality that he has, he will score a lot of goals.
And I bring back to the point, this time last year it was a turning point in the season. They had a Dubai break, and then after that it was an incredible run for Arsenal. Could you see this being a momentum swing for you in terms of going into the important months in the season?
Yeah, it's a crucial month. I mean, we had 9 games in this period. Really tough period. We are really happy today. We have to go to Wolves. We know how tough it's going to be. 3 days later, Girona, then City. So go game by game. Make sure we recover. Have as many players as we possibly can, fit and in good spirit, and we go again.
We do go again. I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Top man. Appreciate you, Mikel.
So really understandably pleased with how his team performed today, and it's a lift they needed with this sort of topsy-turvy January that Arsenal have been having. A bit of inconsistency. There's the highs of the North London derby, then they get knocked out in the FA Cup. They're sort of in that position in the League Cup as well, up against it against Newcastle. They needed to carry on the momentum in this competition, and crucially, as Mikel Arteta talked about pre-match, it's making sure that they avoid those extra 2 playoff matches in this competition, Martin.
Yeah, in the recent games, I mean, they wanted to have won all of these games, of course, the League Cup, the FA Cup. But if there is a silver lining, the FA Cup does get in the way of the Champions League if you're to reach the latter stages. And they are almost there, aren't they? With 16 points, 3rd in the table. There's some way now towards getting to the latter stages of the Champions League. They won't be in the FA Cup, but they want to pick up, and they won't want to keep slipping up as they did against Aston Villa. That really hurt them, a real kick in the teeth at the weekend, as Declan was talking about earlier. But they're back on track again now. Waneri coming off the bench for me was a real plus, because without Saka, so you're looking for those players that you can rely upon going forward. Ødegaard grabbing his goal. It's turned into a better week now. You know, you're looking ahead. Wolves is another tough match. It looks easy, doesn't it, from afar? There they are at the bottom of the table, but Arsenal need to win that game to keep it open, the Premier League. Otherwise, Liverpool start to romp away with it.
And this is it. I mean, this will give them so much confidence. And you mentioned the other players that came off the bench, and that is what Arsenal need at this point. With someone like Saka out, whose goal contributions, or contributions in every sense, is so huge, and he's out for a while now. So he needed other players to step up. And it's almost taking baby steps, isn't it? And they've got this something in them where they can switch and really turn it on in this competition. And if they can pick up a little bit of confidence from getting that big victory, you hope that they'd be able to then take that into the other competitions, particularly in the Premier League.
I think that'll be not just a little bit of confidence after tonight. I think there'll be a lot. You mentioned there the midfield was getting on the goals on the score sheet tonight, but I think he mentioned it there. The first thing he says, that's 4 clean sheets for us in this competition. You know, 3-0 at home, that's positive. And I mentioned at the top of the show, if Arsenal are going to progress in this competition, it'll be from their defensive display. We know they're lacking maybe in attacking areas when it really hits deep, but you're seeing how good in this competition, how good the front lines are of the top teams, but they're so vulnerable at the back. So I wouldn't want to play Arsenal in a knockout game over 180 minutes, because I think defensively they can dig deep and grind out a result, and I think that's the way that they will do it if they're going to progress in this tournament really deep.
Mentality has been so important for Arsenal as well. Their season has really been defined by small moments, isn't it, really? Moments where they should have grabbed the opportunity, they should have got the goal. This decision shouldn't have gone against them, but it's about kind of being on it all the time mentally, and knowing that you cannot let your head drop.
You know, you can't. There are lots of
They've been
reasons.
guilty of it, haven't they?
There's lots
though?
of reasons. Lots of, you could call it ill discipline. You know, you could say injuries. You know, there's no Saliba right now. There's no Saka right now, but they're still finding a way to win and get the results, and that's what you need to do. When I hear the interviews and I hear someone like Declan Rice, and he's such the desire that he has. He's missed an opportunity. You know, he doesn't want to talk about the great goal he scored. He's talking about the one he missed. And you know everything's going to be okay when somebody just wants to set the bar that high, wants to improve, wants to get better. He's a really good example within the team. There's still a lot of growing space. There's still a lot of development with this young group of Arsenal players.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason I'm turning around is because, as you can see on your cameras there, Martin Ødegaard, who scored the third goal tonight, is joining us here. Martin, lovely to see you. How are you?
Hi, Martin. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you for being with us. Yeah, congratulations, first of all, on that victory. You needed that, didn't you, as a team?
Yeah, we needed that. I think, yeah, we put ourselves in a really good situation now, and that was the goal. And yeah, it was a good and solid win, so very happy.
Yeah, and it's been a difficult week, hasn't it, with the kind of the drop points against Aston Villa. It's been a difficult period, actually, January in all. What is the mood like in the camp now compared to how it might have been midweek, maybe?
Yeah, I think results always influence a little bit the mood, but I think it's been good. Everyone just want to get better. Every time we drop points, we come in the next day and we're even more hungry and even more ready to go again. So I think that's the mentality, you know, always want more, always want to be better, and yeah, that's good to see.
Martin, how do you feel about this? Everywhere you go, it's reinforcements are needed. You know, you love all the players you've got. Jesus is out, Saka's out. How much do you need a new player to work with, or do you just get in line and you just sit back, or do you really think, hold on, we need reinforcements here?
To be honest, I think obviously with the injuries we've been a little bit short, but yeah, you look at the team, we have so much quality, so if we can keep everyone fit, then that's the main thing. And yeah, we have to focus on the players that are here, and we have a lot of quality, so I'm yeah, happy with the ones we have, and today I think we all did well, so happy.
January, but they got the job done tonight, Karen. It was a clinical performance in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was professional. You know, the chances that they had, they absolutely took them. I think it was great to see the midfield getting involved and getting on the score sheet. Obviously, JD interviewed Declan Rice at the end. I thought that was quite telling how the managers, you know, put a lot of pressure on them to get into the box at the final third and make an impact, and they did tonight. But overall, it was a very controlled performance, and only 1 point now, and they're pretty much through and removes 2 games out of the necessary games that they don't want in February.
Yeah, and that was the key, wasn't it, to really kind of seal the deal tonight. I mean, at one point in that first half, it looked like Zagreb could have posed a bit of a threat, but they sort of nullified that in the second half and came back, and in the end managed to just get the job done in the way that Mikel Arteta would have wanted them to.
Yeah, very important. Of course, they're now back into third place, looking comfortable. One more game to negotiate to get into this final 8, which is key, of course. Number of injuries Arsenal have got. Maybe there's a couple of new signings that might turn up, and they'll appreciate a bit more time until, you know, be March before Arsenal play in the Champions League.
Karen's laughing because she knows.
I love that you're praying so hard for some signings.
So maybe that can happen. But actually, tonight, it was interesting because Martinelli, I thought that he had a very good game.
Yeah.
So did Havertz. You know, probably was the man of the match. He had 1 assist, he had 1 goal. Good for their confidence. It almost felt like a training ground game. Okay, perfect in front of the fans. Let's get some confidence back. Let's put the ball in the back of the net. And they accomplished that, and they looked more than comfortable. Yes, it got a bit difficult. Start the second half, went a bit flat. 3 substitutions. They addressed that quickly and used the squad members.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that's the key, isn't it, in games like this where you look to sort of seal it against a slightly lesser opposition, and they managed to do that. And they did get off to a great start, though, didn't they? 2 minutes in, Declan Rice with his first ever Champions League goal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that, and it was a great goal as well. I thought, as we mentioned, Martinelli was really positive. I like how he went on the outside then. Martin's getting a lot of love here, Martin. I thought I've got to tell everyone
Martin's a superstar here, I have to tell you, everywhere you go.
Rice is the superstar.
Yeah, but the timing
Not as much as you.
the timing of Declan's run, though, as you mentioned, it's about not. There's that timing and the clinical finish, but Martin's right. Martinelli was key, good setback. Everything in this goal was perfect for Declan then, and the finish.
It's his patience, isn't it? You see, I think it's more intelligent. His movement there. You know, sometimes his enthusiasm. He gets there a bit too early. There, he's quite measured, and then he can come on to that. He's got time and he's got the technique. This is the thing about, you know, is he a 6? Is he an 8? But for someone who's, you know, who you might think is a 6, he's got really good finishing ability. I've seen that in his game. His feet are improving, his passing range. He's got everything he needs, and obviously he's a major character for Arsenal right now.
Yeah, and he's evolved, hasn't he, since he's even started at Arsenal. So you sort of see that journey that Declan Rice is on. We talked about Martinelli and his impact on that first goal, and he had the same impact for the second goal. This was a pinpoint pass, wasn't it?
2 assists for him. Again, decision making really, really key. But I love this one now. This time he's coming in, sensing where the space is, and just gets in. It's a beautiful ball because the keeper's thinking he's starting to come. Then he's thinking no. Defenders are backpedaling, and then it's a great header and a time of the runs again. And Kai does really well in there, and then peels back out. No one's picking him up, and like we said, the quality of delivery, and then it's just easy for Kai Havertz then for that nice little header. But again, 2 goals, and it was kind of the perfect build-up, really.
I think with Havertz, you see he sort of ghosts into that space and he doesn't get picked up, and it's great movement from him. But the directness from Martinelli, you have to have somebody that affects the back line, that asks the question, that keeps wanting to test the opposition. And Martinelli does that every week. He's done it from the left. We asked the manager, will you change it? Will you put Sterling there? No, he's stuck by Martinelli. And it's paid off because he's assisted with 2 goals.
Yeah, he has. And look, Arsenal scored 3 goals in their last 2 home games in the Champions League. They got a third tonight, albeit a late one. And this was Martin Ødegaard in added time.
Yeah, again, we mentioned about midfielders getting on the score sheet, and it's great for him to come on. I think poor defending in the end, but a great ball in behind, spaces on there, and the runs in then. And again, it's about the time, and I think you get a little bit of luck from Trossard with it. He's trying to nutmeg, I think, getting it in there, but a little bit deflection. But again, arriving into the space, you're not in there too early. The timing of it's really good. And also on the clip, you'll see that Declan Rice is in there as well. So it's great to see both of them as attacking 8s getting in there. And Declan's run actually caused a bit of havoc there, so it was in. You just see it from there. Declan Rice goes in, tries to glance, but then it's
both 10s, isn't it?
Yeah.
The deep, they play sort of in the half spaces, but for Ødegaard, this is the first goal since April that he scored in open play and not from the penalty spot. So again, it's important for confidence. You know, there's still a long way to go in this season. Everyone's saying Liverpool are going to win everything, but it's important while on this journey, the confidence returns, and with goals, of course, that brings that back.
Okay, that is it for the moment. We're going to come back after a short break.
Because I've seen so much of Declan's career at every stage, and now to turn around and say I've seen your first Champions League goal tonight. Just tell me how you're feeling. Did you almost miss it, by the way?
I'm so annoyed, honestly, because I had the same position against Man United in the cup and I missed, and then the same there. So look, I'm getting in the right positions when I play 8. She scored a good goal in the first half, but I'm annoyed I didn't get a second. You know, that's where I've got to be a bit more clinical. But to get my first Champions League goal, I think it's been obviously taken me 2 seasons, but I'm so happy, and yeah, hopefully many more to come.
I hear all the talk about a striker, but I heard also the talk from you guys internally about sharing that collective responsibility about scoring. So there's opportunities like tonight and you getting on the goal sheet, in terms of Martin not getting on the goal scoring sheet as well. Is that important in terms of?
Yeah, it's so important. I think the manager, he's been on us really hard about midfielders arriving, because so many goals can come from there. It's down to us, you know, to make up that extra 5-10 yards. And Martin obviously did there right at the end of the game. I did for the header. So we've got to keep arriving there, but everyone's contributing, and look, it was an important win tonight. You know, it's been a really positive Champions League campaign, so we've got 1 more to go now. Hopefully we can win that as well.
It's around this time last year where you guys put an incredible run together. It was about the Dubai break, and then you came back to it. So I'm going to ask you now, is this a moment? Is this where you can turn the momentum and push into the second half of the season?
Yeah, no, I hope so. I think it's important that you're always, what I learned from last year is that you need to be there or thereabouts, you know, come this time of the season, and we are at the minute. Look, we need to keep winning games. I think the game on the weekend, we're 2-0 up, we draw 2-2. It's a real kick in the teeth because we should be seeing that out, but to bounce back tonight and win, it's really positive. Now we go into Wolves, and it's been a tough month, but we keep being positive and we go again.
Cool, calm and collected. Declan, congratulations, man. Enjoy it tonight, brother.
What a start for Arsenal. Declan Rice scored his first ever Champions League goal just 2 minutes in, with a brilliant strike set up by Kai Havertz. Arsenal didn't stop there. Havertz headed home a Martinelli cross to make it 2-0, marking their 500th goal under Arteta. As the game went on, Ødegaard sealed the win in stoppage time, scoring his first open play goal in nearly a year. This 3-0 victory puts Arsenal top of the group, 3 points clear of Aston Villa, and in a strong position to secure their Champions League last 16 spot. With 1 game left, Arsenal can go into their final match against Girona with little pressure Arteta's squad is in great shape, and they'll be looking to finish strong. With one game left, Arsenal can take it easy against Girona, but Arteta will keep pushing for more. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more Arsenal content. Stay tuned to Sport Lab for all the latest football analysis. Cheers.